Okay, so first of all, just for the sake of the recording, may lights on below. Okay, I mean, this is the basic light that I have used for in texture making process, so I can get better results in my post when I'm rendering. Okay, so the water, so this is the same render engine, almost similar type of look I get also in render engine. Because in the post, I'm going to use V-Ray. Not post actually. In the later process, uh, I'm going to use V-Ray render engine in Maya for for the final result. So that's why I'm using V-Ray MTL inside Mari. As you can see this, so for the sake of the explanation, I just turn off all these other parameters, all the property panels, and make a better visual. Forget this. Come on. Yeah, it's quite complicated in Mari to work with this, but when you get used to it, yeah, it's not get too much problematic. Okay, I'll dock that on the side of here, right? Yep. Mm, okay. Uh, so this is my roadmap. What I'm going to do in this video, explaining each and aspect of my texture process, where I started and how I get this look. So, and first of all, why I choose Mari? Because this time I wanted to do something new from the rest of the my other characters. So for the first time, I use Mari, and uh, it I also use the UDIM process. So it will take some moment. Oh yeah, and another thing, I have to change to some particular asset where I can show that. You cannot see this very specifically, but yeah, this one will be good. Yeah. So this is the Mari. On the first 101 tile, I actually use this this side of the face UV map. Okay, so this is the UV shell that I used on here, and this is the only where I need most of the details in my character. On the other hand, on other on other part, like in a diffuse, I only need this area, right? But I don't need entire body. Sorry, this is the totally nude character. I cannot show that, but yes, you can see that, right? So this is the what UV looks like inside Mari. And another thing that I really liked about Mari, that was the second reason why I choose it, was the it was, sorry, it was the expressions that I can use it for the texturing. So this is the one expression that I exported from Maya. So this was open mouth, uh, just to texture inside of this. And yeah, this character is entirely rigged and also have teeth and tongue, but it's all entirely in Maya, and it that for the tongue and the teeth, as well as eyes, all textured in Substance Painter. For those models, I didn't use Mari because I'm very okay with that. But for the character, I wanted to try something new. That's why I also go with Mari. So let's check the albedo color first of all. First of all, I started with the subdermal layer. So as you can see, this all entirely are tile based right now. It doesn't look like too much complicated, but it is very complicated. So initially, it was looking like this, very spaghetti coding like that. Looks like someone is doing game mechanics, but it's the entire process of the making texturing, and it's very complicated. That's why I use teleporter nodes in Mari, and that's a really good thing. That very beneficial. For example, like you are seeing too much yellow nodes right here. All are the teleporter nodes that are actually broadcasting, and also if you are the receiving those. So this one, sorry, yeah, this one is a broadcasting node, that broadcasting node to the certain level, so it is here where is using it. So it's a receiver where it receives this node's data here, but doesn't involve any type of wire here. So it looks really good in terms of organizing, so it doesn't get any problematic for anyone. So let's start with the subdermal layer. So first of all, I use a basic red color to define the base color. So uh, yeah, this one. Uh, so I actually screenshotted this image from from my other project, as because in other project I also use this same method where I use my my where I use same color pattern, and that also used in this. So this is the red one that here it's on the bottom, so that's why it start from there. That's why the starting is on the red, and the second one is yellow, blue, and the purple. So they all are here, and the merge node is merging all of them. So it's just like the layer system, but it's very convenient for me. I'm very good with the node system, and I can understand them very much. That's why I'm using node system. But I highly recommend it if you cannot understand the node system and you are really dependent on the layer system, just like Photoshop and other software where they are highly effective for user experience, then you can go with that. But and yeah, Substance Painter also support Udemy, so you can use that as that. But uh, but I'm using Mari. It is my first time too. So it's the red one, right? So it has mask here, right? But instead of masking each and individual, I use projection mapping, like painting entirely on the object instead of masking them, because I don't want to drag about this one thing properly, because those are the things that going to be said there. I don't want to change them, but where I wanted to change was the feature where we will discuss further in the video. But okay, there you go. You cannot see the red yellow because it's empty almost. But after merging it, this is what it looks like. First of all, yeah. So I used entire body for that, and yeah, the yellow actually explains the where the skin are touching to the bone of the body. So on the scalp and on the cheek there are certain types of bones that are very close to the skin. That's why it's there. And and the blue one is cause of the darkness in the skin, so that's why it's here, blue. So technically it's a blue, but at some point you're also going to use purple, and that's why I also use purple. So define few the other darker area in my character. So in my character, there is few scars on the faces. That's why I also use them to define the scars that are a little bit older and have darkness around it. And I'm using the broadcasting to broadcast to another, to merge it to another one. And here's the custom noise. It's not actually entirely custom, but it's based on uh, merging three different noises at one. So here it is. Uh, it's the first one is Perlin with a different uh, some some settings over here, like the scale is low right here, and the another one is the camouflage, right? So it looks different on on the on the spawn when you type the camouflage noise. Sorry, camouflage, yes, here it is. Okay. Yeah. In Mari, it also work like Nuke, where you just have to shake the node to disconnect it, right? So that's what I did. So this is what initially looks like, but after a few certain settings in the node, this is what it looks like. And I also scaled down and changed the threshold of it. And again, another purling noise to make it seems natural and also looks merging it. So this is what it look like in merge. So right now it's uh, actually projecting on UDMs, not actually on on the model entirely, like doing a tree planner in substance, or yeah, in substance. Especially I highly use that tree planner projection for breaking certain type of details, especially making like a natural thing. So this is what I also do here. So I use terminal layer for the skin, so I just name that as a skin base color. This is what it looks like, and it's also breaking certain types of it's also breaking like unnatural things and making it seems like a natural skin, but it's not entirely made up yet because it's not merging the subdermal layer right now. So here the subdermal layer comes handy where it's defined the darkness, also uh, the yellowy part where the bone comes, but it's not entirely completed yet. Almost 90% of the work started after this. Yeah. So the one is cavity map that I highly used, because in many of these nodes the curvature, cavity, and the AOVs are come handy, and all the maps I like AO, cavity, and the curvature are baked from the Marmoset Toolbag 5. Uh, in Mari there is a baking option, but I'm not used to with it right now. And I'm also learning the software right as much as you maybe, but I'm very new, so I didn't use that Mari's baking option, baking functionality. Instead, I go with the usual one where I'm very casual with it. So I added cavity into it with some sort of filtering process, right? So this is the cavity. I merge it with the curvature. I don't remember it, but it's actually curvature from the different peaking group, which is totally a different thing, and it's also edited right now. So I merged them, contrasted it, and add a singular color like the purple one that defines the curvature of the skin, where is the darkness in the in the in micro cavities. So again, uh, custom noise comes handy with AO to the bringing out the perfection in it. So use invert map and merge it with the multiply node. Mhm. And again use AO to mask out it, right? So like it's the white one where is the base color is still there, but the on the over part is changed here. So it is a different little bit, but and this is the projections actually where I use other maps to break more from perfectionist. So use noises, turbulence, again another noise that generated out of it, You cannot see the entire detail, but it is on the micro level. And merging with AO again, so gets a little bit breakouts, feels like very natural. And again added few colors, so this is what it looks like. And merging over it to make it seems faded, and almost it looks like it's completed, but certain things are not completed right now, such as another AO that I actually baked it from the normal map. The other one AO map, this one, it was baked from the actual geometry. That's why it has the darkness on the cavity area. Yeah, right. Wait a second. Yeah, the cavity area. But on the other hand, this one has actual darkness around the cavity of the skin. So if I show you my normal map, yeah, so this normal map has a significantly high precise details, right? So this high density detail maps are didn't considered by ZBrush actually. So first of all, the few maps I actually baked from the ZBrush where I created my entire model. So ZBrush have support for baking those maps. So I use that. And this one, oh, where is it? Yeah, this one. I also get sometimes dizzy with the mapping out. So this one is baked from ZBrush. However, this one is baked. It is not baked in. It is made with the Materializer software, which is actually a free source software where you can make mul- multiple maps out of it. Where I use normal map to make AO. That's how I got this, and I merged it. And this is actually to fix few things around it, and I baked it with blurring it and make some adjustment to the skins by HSL, which is stand for hue, saturation, and luminance. This node allows me to change a and luminance value in my scene on my textures. So this one is the uh, combined base color, and I changed the saturation a bit for comforting my character here, and merging all the here. I got more details on on the character around the scars, and another red color to curvature area, where the curvature of the map used here contrast to change it. So I get some high details and some sharp details, especially levels to shape it, and masking out it. And here's are the baked in cavity map. So it's technically making a cavity mask for the red area. So same thing kind of working here. I'm sorry, not here. Oh, fuck. Where is it? I'm also confused right now. Yeah, here. Yeah, this one's ready. Yeah, this one. Yeah. So it's the same thing, but with the with the more details. So the curvature have more data for the cavity instead of AO. This cavity is baked from ZBrush too. That's why I don't have enough enough data about the cavity area, but it's still usable on the initial, right? And this paint effect, actually I forgot to rename it, but it's actually the curvature, right? So but it's a masked out curvature that projected by me. Okay, so entirely it translate here. So this is the final base skin, but it doesn't have any other parameters such as like other features like the lips color, lips or the lip color that I added here. So this is the main skin. Again, it's the receiver node, right? So this is the broadcast and the receiver, right? So it don't have this spaghetti code. I'm merging it. So this is the skin, I mean lips here. Again, I projected by using texture XYZ. So this for this, I mean yeah, I used texture XYZ textures for for the lips. I projected with the tool. I forget the name shit again. Uh, with the paint buffer, right? It's a paint buffer error, but the actual tool is this paint through. It's called paint through, but it actually works on paint buffer. So what the paint buffer actually do? It's like an invisible canvas in front of the of the model, uh, where I uh, actually wait, I have to demonstrate it very furtherly. Like uh, make it a little bit low. Right. Okay. The base. It's not. Yeah. Normal 8-bit. Okay. So just to demonstrate, and so this will be work on the right. So it's entirely projecting. It's not changing its rotation value on the curvature just like substance do, but instead Mari works differently, where it paint on the paint buffer, and when I move my camera, it will baked it will project on the character. So that's how it projected, and it get baked now. So this is how I actually project my entire lips on the character. So it took so much time to project it, but it is worth it by the end. And some other cavity area that I actually have to draw, because those that didn't work out, the other cavity maps like this one, so I have to mask out entirely, or the AOVs, because AO also don't have that the part right now. So this AO actually baked on the different base body, like this, on the other one where don't have any type of skin details, but on the other hand, this cavity map or the any other normal map that I bake from the zebra are baked in a totally different project where I created this details. So that's how I also bake those maps, right? So this one is the paint where I draw it. This is the actual cavity, and this is the multiply node where I carved out. So it's like a mask here. Sorry. So the shaking it disconnects it. So uh so use this paint layer to mask out those things. So these are the cavities that are actually from this cavity map, and it does makes the drawn cavity for me. So I use that here to define the redness, or the you can say the blood flow around the damage area. And furthermore, I used some more black and white and other types of colors to make more features and the makeup areas. So this is the dark part, right? So under eye darker area, so it looks like this on the first this, and second is now this one is right now is a disabled. What is it? So it's the eye line which I also drawn entirely, and Yeah, you can see that. So I used actually this camera angle to project it actually. So in Photoshop, I always forget this. Yeah, in Photoshop, I actually draw this. I actually draw this entire t- alpha in Photoshop, and I project it on the actual model, right? But it didn't work out for me because it was looking different. The character I was looking for a little bit older character, so it wasn't fitting right there. But looks good actually. But instead of deleting it, I disabled it. Maybe if I get a maybe if I get minds off for that decision to making older, instead I will get mind I get idea that I make her a little bit younger than right now, so I will put the I will use that. So that's why I didn't delete it. It's still there, but it's disabled. So the next one is the more scar details. So the around the area of the cavity, right? So I added some red color with the with a low number of flow. That's how I got some imperfectionism with it. So the scars looks really brutal and too much uh, realistic right now. So still it's base color, but I have enough. I have so many details entirely on the base color. So even the normal map that don't work, but still it can be really good. So the next thing is the eyebrows. Yes, if you don't know about the characters, uh, then all the characters you see on in a video game or the movies all have eyebrows inbuilt in the texture. But yeah, I also created them eyebrows with the XGen also. So this texture will deform the base for me in X in Maya when I create the when I create eyebrows in with XGen in Maya. So this is the projection. Yeah, this was also a projection of the map which I downloaded from the internet. So yes, this was the actually eyes. No, eyes. It's not eyes. It's eyebrows. Sorry. So I used it for the projection, and again some darker area under eye. I use that to blur it. So this is the baking point node, which allows me to use filter very procedurally, but it also have to baked in. If I change anything here, so it will be turned red, and it will define that it have to be baked right now to use filter. So right now I cannot use that, but I can demonstrate by just doing this. Right, so it's red now, so it don't have any data, but it's already baked here, so that's why it's projecting me that. But if I plug this node, it will still be there, but if I hit bake, so it will take some couple of seconds. So it's now right now baked right now, and it has filter of Gaussian blur. So I plugged in the eyebrows, so this is what it looks like, and this is how it's actually work. But I don't need that, so I'm hitting Control Z. Oh yeah, this one is also thing in Mari, that hitting Control Z also works with the camera angle. Of course, this is the entirely projection based software, so every single camera move can be very problematic. So that's why Control Z allows us to change it to repositioning it. Okay, so back to normal. Yeah, so this is what it looks like first. Okay, yeah, have to turn off. Yeah, this is what it looks like first, and then after, before and after, before and after. Okay, so what is this? So this is the uh initially I thought I will add little bit of the No, okay. Tears around the eyes, so I use the dark. I use, I think that the, so this one also correlated with this, the eyeliner. So if my character is in the war and maybe she's cried a little bit, so, or maybe because of the sweat, the eyeliner fell off. So that's how I made it, but it doesn't look like good. That's why I use little bit of blur and merging over it, but don't look that bad. And even with it or without it, it looks good. That's why I keep it right now. Instead, I can actually disable it too, but it don't look much better without it. That's why I keep it. And the last but not least, the in-eye shader. I cannot go with the this basic thing because I'm rigging entirely, so that's why I need some background textures too. So that's why I keep that, and that's the also the reason why I had the expressions here to change the inside of the mouth area. Uh, yeah, back to basics. Okay, the last but not least, the little bit of blush on the skin. So this was the mask actually, and this was the color. It is the little bit of pink color, and it looks good right here. Right. So merging over it, yeah. And the very final thing, as I mentioned here, that I used uh sweated or the cried person's eyeliner here, right? So this was the hand drawn, but instead of that, I actually, sorry, twice, yeah. So instead of that, I actually also used projection. So this area is the projected one. I show the image. Yeah. This is the free texture I downloaded from 3D scan store, which allows this texture actually for it was for not it was sorry, it is for the meta-human characters. That's why it's a different one. Both are different, and it's entirely based on the meta-human UVs, right? So you can like plug and play. It's like plug and play. Just use inside the UV. So I use that on the projecting the teardrop, right? This was actually looking good, but doesn't want it to look that bad, so I disabled it. And this node actually also going somewhere else, right? I will explain that later. So this was my final albedo map, which I used in my render. So let's go to the specular map. So first I painted entirely. So the base color I used for it was a little bit of gray, but both colors are separated, which has totally a different both have different values of the whites. This one is a dark and this one is a little bit brighter. That's actually explains why specular is different right now. If I go in final, right? So this is the specular and the glossiness. Oh yeah, another thing I forgot to mention that I'm going with the specular and glossiness workflow instead of basic one, roughness and metalness map. So roughness is not different than glossiness. The glossiness map, you can use glossiness map in roughness as well by just inverting it. If I just invert this final one, it will become the roughness one. But if I just turn back, it is glossiness. It doesn't matter. So I can use this gloss map in Arnold as well as V-Ray. Actually, in V-Ray, V-Ray have one option. V-Ray, especially in just V-Ray MTL material, not other one. V-Ray MTL material also have option where I just tick mark as its roughness, so it will automatically invert it and use it as a roughness. But on the other hand, other shaders in Maya doesn't have that, so that's why I used glossiness. Because other shaders such as AI V-Ray, AI Surface, and Fast SSS shader doesn't have roughness tick mark checkbox actually. So that's why I used glossiness workflow here. So this is the gloss map and spec color. Though yes, spec color it doesn't change. That's why it's bottom transparent. That comes from the Mari. When you start the project, it starts with the bottom transparency, paint, and the base. This is what it looks like when you start the project. Just these three with all the parameters you added in channels, right? So for me, I added diffuse color, metalness, normal, reflection color, reflection amount, reflection crossiness, and the triple S. Triple S stands for subsurface scattering. Yeah, I will also explain this in the further video. Let's go to the specular again, and so yeah, this is the curvature that I also used in albedo. So I merged them to make some variation with the micro details. Few other projection mapping where I break out the older one and add some more reflections towards some areas such as the lips, right? Around the lips and around the eyes, a little bit under neck. Used cavity to define it somewhere that the cavity is also here. Yeah, the eyeliner ones comes here, but it doesn't show me anything because I already disabled it here. So there is broadcast node connects here in this receiver, and this custom noise comes from the same one which I also use in base color. So merging it to make some variation, right? So and another thing that I'm using specular. The specular actually I have for the specular I have to use whiteness instead of black, so I inverted even before the broadcast. That's why this node is here, and yeah, and I also break out it. So break it and merging it here with the final one. This is what it looks like, but I'm not using the eyeliner here in my project anymore. That's why I disable it here. So I don't want you to see it in albedo as well as in specular. By at the end here, I wanted to blur it, so I use bake point again. So it, but it has a really lower amount of number here. It's even a below zero, below one here, right? So it doesn't look too much, but instead of having really sharp details, it's really good to have this number of blurriness. And again, curvature to add more details around the area. So this is what it looks like my spec map. And again, broadcast to add in this MTL. And again, this MTL doesn't need in Mari. Okay, I can use other shaders too. Shaders like BRDF, Unreal, MTL, that I'm already using it. And another one is yes, this Arnold standard surface that highly used in Mari, not Mari actually, in Maya, with Arnold shader M2A, right? So I can use that too. So I have all the parameters like the diffuse weight, color, roughness, etc. Right? No, I'm not using it right now. I'm using V-Ray, so that's why V-Ray here. And the final one, it comes here. This one, yeah, reflection, which is actually a specular map, but in V-Ray, it stands for reflection amount. That's why That's why I named it reflection. And yeah, the actual one that allows me to export is these nodes. Oh, sorry, this one. Yeah, these are the nodes that allows me to export my my maps in the end, right? So here's my specular. Let's go to this glossiness that I actually hand painted it, right? So this is it. Um, so specular glossiness is inverted roughness map, right? So that's why the white stands for more reflectivity and the gray one is less reflectivity. So this is the first of all, this is what I actually painted, hand painted. It's entirely hand painted. It's not projection or any kind of bake map here, but I used drawn cavity to mask out. Oh, sorry, it's not mask out. I added it to make it some blurred flow. Sorry, I forget that. And again, I used eyeliner custom map, same as the reflection amount or reflection or specular, but I'm not using it. That's why it's not showing me anything. If I enable it, this is what it looks like. So I'm having in specular as well as in a glossiness. So that's why it was looking like really reflective and wasn't looking good. That's why I disabled it in back in texturing process. And last but not least, a single level where I actually change the roughness. I mean the lowest amount of the gray material, right? And the mask and the rest is okay. So I actually use that for the export. And here is the normal map. In the normal map, I didn't do anything because it was already baked in from the ZBrush. But on the some point, I needed to change something because it was baked from the ZBrush. That's why it was also having certain amounts of problems, such as this on the eye area. Because I actually used layer system, a layer method to add some bumpy normal area or not area, bumpy micro details. That's why it was causing this thing. So just to remove it, I actually add the purple color and the paint color to mask out. So this is what it looks like, the masking out. And yeah, on the nose area is nose below nose area and certain other lips area where it was causing some problems, this purple issue and also this repetition and the pixelation problem. And another, yeah, this one, because I used layer thing, that's why it was a different thing. Both are different, so I used this color, basic normal color, that was like this color. Wait, show you the color. It was RGB point 0.5 0.5 and 1. Yeah, this is the color that actually sRGB used, but this the color which I am using right now, it is a raw color. That's why it's a different one. Yeah, I can change that. Yeah, this one has a little bit different approach, has a point 0.7 0.7 because it's raw, right? So, and mask out, and this is what it looks like in a final normal map. But again, I'm still having some causes problems. That's why I also use normal strength node to give little bit of sharpness around my normal and use mask to change it around the pink around the lip area. Yeah, so before and after. So for the lips, I wanted to more sharpness around it. So that's why I just have lips have a mask around the lips. Don't want any of the sharp details around other area, so it will create some problems in the back in the later, because it's not the character that have so much micro detail, because females actually don't have it. micro details, like, I mean, that much level of poles and the micro, but actually men have. And I'm also using a male skin texture, right? So that was also a problem for me. uh, and the rest one is just collecting the final big normal export, uh, final export node, right? So spec normal, and the same thing actually I'm using, the normal actually using the same same giving same output in normal as well as brown. It was just experimenting thing that's still there. I didn't forget to remove it. But yeah, I'm just exporting the normal, not the bump map. And last but not least, uh, the SSS. Uh, for the SSS, I started with thickness map, so which I also pick from the Marmoset toolbar, with the use of the smoother model. I didn't use any other map, but it also have a little bit of thickness around it because I used the smooth model and the normal map from this project, right? So at that time I had almost completed this project, almost completed the texturing, and it was just the SSS was wasn't completed. So I used the normal map, exported it, and baked the thickness map with the help of normal. That's why I also have this certain level of uh, maybe you can see it, but wait, yeah, now you can see here, right? It has a little bit of thickness around it because it's a scar, that's why it's here. And I used three planar projection of the crunch map, which I downloaded from the internet also. So it's projecting from three different sides, that's why it has some problems around it, but it doesn't causing any problems in the final here. uh, so I keep it there. And again, add some variation in it by actually project by drawing. That means I'm using some oh fuck, it's not this. Oh shit, here we go again. Yeah, here's brush package actually. Yeah, so these are the brushes that I almost use. Hey, wait. Oh man. Okay, yeah. Come on. I'm still learning this software. So Mario also have few default brushes, which that I only use those brushes. That's how I got this. And yeah, this node, I don't remember it why, so but still keeping that. Must be had something, but I didn't remove it. I add some whiteness. I actually changed the level, right? Some whiteness in the middle, right? So have more SSS, and so this one was connected here. That's why it's removed it. And this is the last one, right? So it's SSS. That's why it's right. That's why it's here. So the last one, the micro normal mask. So in the uh, in I was checking in was toolbar my texture. That's where I also think that I should check some micro normal maps in it. That's why I also use this. So I made this micro normal mask, and to export it, I made this channel, and this one is here. And I think pretty much it's covered. So yeah, this one is the lips. Okay, yeah. The projected first, project the entire map, entire image, add a whiteness to little bit to certain areas, and I used dodge hide method, hide highlight method for merging it. Wait a minute, what this the call of? Okay, I will fix that later. So add some more luminosity, luminosity, add some pink color to make it a little bit red with the multiply effect, of course, and the rest is uh, added in the feature. And I think this is actually sort everything else. And yeah, the metalness and the speckle are the same thing, right? Don't have any values. The basic spec color is always white, that's why it's still white, and the metalness don't need in a skin, that's why it's black and don't have any more nodes here. Right? It's a transparency channel, it has nothing, and it's a normal mode on, right? So it allows me to use this map instead of this here. Yeah, so that's how the spec color is white and the metalness color is black. So here's the final. So, and another thing I forgot to mention that uh, in Mari I can use different lights, right? I can change that position like this. Yeah, pressing R, fix everything. Yeah. Uh, Back to normal.